Oh yeah, I'm in here to catch that vibe. So good to feel alive. You know, with your hands up to the sky, cause that's how we do it around here. We electrify. So let's get into this. It's your man. I'm back again. It's your peoples, your fam, and so glad to be right back in front of you as I should be. I'm still on my mission. It's been a little bit over 3 years, so I'm 3 years in on making these little videos, and I'm happy to say that I'm still doing it. And like I've said before, it's become something that's kind of therapeutic at the same time, keeps me on my toes as I comb my brain and look for something interesting to bring to you and not just be a bunch of hype and be all about myself, because I know that the picture is bigger than that and it's all about all of us together. And as we come to these new precipices and change in time, you know, we're on this swing of this change from an old way of thinking into a new parallel, you know what I mean? And so while we do that, let's revisit something that I've touched on in the past. And if you haven't seen my past videos, please go check them all out on my channel. You know what I mean? I have a whole bunch of talk videos. My goal is to reach, you know, for starters, is to reach 100 videos. And I'm not going to act like I'm the main guru or the main guy that's like the master of this stuff, but I do find these things interesting or weird or, you know, informative, either from experience or learning, you know, in any instance and situation. I just like to gather knowledge. I like to seek that truth. And if you're like me, then we're the same. Well, let's keep rolling. You know what I'm saying? So in one of my past videos, I touched on focus. And I think it was coupled with doing hard work and how hard work helps you build the focus on your task. And in that moment of time, it's, well, in that passage, you're almost in a place that doesn't have any time. So that's what kind of like what I want to touch on. So that's kind of like what I want to touch on right now, is that how focus builds up your ability to live in that timeless place, which we used to call the zone. And guess what? There's other language that supports that terminology, and it's called flow state. So in flow state, there doesn't seem to be any concept or principle of the bearing of time. And so time moves differently. Wherever you seem to be tapped into is where you exist. I think also in mind, body, and spirit, that's from my perspective and opinion. I actually do think you kind of peer into, if you want to say, sort of like an interdimensional traveling thing. Like you kind of split a little bit, similar to the way that when you dream and they say you can have outer body experiences and astral project and go into the astral plane, things like that. So I believe that this is sort of the same connection in the conscious state. So when we focus on something, it has the ability to take shape and form and become something in the real world. You know what I mean? Also comes from a timeless place. So you can kind of see the two connect. So you come from the timeless realm where you probably really manifest, and then that energy will come into the physical world to become something that's tangible. So also on that principle, as other people might touch on too, and I've said it before, that what you feel, and I'm not the one who said it, I'm just, you know, being real about it. I'm not the one who made this stuff up or anything like that. This is like from way back when. There's so many wise people. Also, whatever seems to have a hand in with creating us seems to be the first teacher, or whatever came before us. Whatever it is, I won't know until it actually happens all over, you know, again, because I have a feeling that we do live in these cycles, but nevertheless comes from there. You know what I mean? So whatever that we focus on tends to be what we become, you know, in that instance of time. So if we focus on the negative, we give power to the negative. If we focus on those things, it's what we can manifest as, what you could say, like a curse, right? So in that instance, you manifest on the negative, your mental state deteriorates. You know, you can't focus on anything that would actually save your life or move you forward. You're just kind of frozen in your tracks, focusing on things that will dwindle you down and break you into, you know, your most negative component. So you won't be living up to your fullest potential. So your energy level will be low and your focus will be divided. You will be driven by your emotions and maybe looking for quick band-aids to patch up a situation that really needs in-depth, you know, analysis and study for yourself. You need to pick it apart, but you need time to do that, and you need to be alone to do that. So you know, so focus is interesting. And if you focus on the positives in situations, then you seem to be able to gather yourself, you know, regather yourself and pick yourself back up and keep going on those goals, no matter how hard they are, or challenging they are, or uncomfortable they are, but when you start to focus on that, you don't give up your humanity in that, right? That you are connected to everything. And so your compassion, patience, consideration, all those things still exist inside of you. And I think that that's the importance of learning how to hone the power, your superpower, if you want to, really look at it, your superpower of focus, because whatever you focus on will materialize and manifest from the in-depth out to the surface. So yeah, so and then you can see people focus on, you can see us getting actually detoured into focusing on things that don't benefit us from time to time. It just depends on whatever the motivation is from that source. Like, so let's just say that you're dealing with someone or something that's into consumerism, then guessing that the detour will always be of your focus to go towards products or materials. So that way you kind of always gear yourself towards those things. Now, what if you change that to gear it towards what's within and learning about our story and why we are the way we are, and tapping into some of those things that just seem fascinating about us as living beings, here on the planet, being able to grow and explore and evolve in such a way that's unexpected. Um, all of us get our lessons at different times. Some of us are still getting lessons. I believe that we're always learning, and this is a school. So I believe that natural evolution process is going to come to us if we're ready for it. So in order to be ready for it, you'll have to be well studied and be about, your path. So you can't be getting distracted, in other words, so it's kind of a disservice, even though some of these things are awesome and we use them and they're great, but at the same time, it's also a detour from learning about yourself so you can become the best, rendition of yourself, or version, or 2.0, 3.0, whatever. And I think that's the best gift, and it's all natural, and it doesn't come with the push of just technological advances and corporations trying to basically spoon feed, or we put a little sugar on the medicine and try to force it down your throat, where I feel that evolution is coming naturally regardless. That's my opinion. I don't know if you feel the same. If you do, you know what I'm saying? Let's keep rolling. You know what I mean? While you're at it, please smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, check out all the music on my channel, check out my future featured channels on my channel. Check out all my links to the different social media sites and all that stuff, and let's keep rolling together. But getting back into it, yeah, I feel like some of those changes that we're going to go through in the process come naturally to us, because the more we are connected, the more that our understanding can broaden. And there's benefits to that, because the more you learn and understand, the less stressful situations are as you begin to become a process thinker and get yourself out of situations, or pick yourself back up, or just kind of like figure out a way to survive. And it's really not as stressful as the unknown is. The unknown is scary, the black void. And that's what people are always scared of. And that's what kind of holds them back from opening up to do these things. They feel embarrassed. They feel like everyone else is doing this over here, this trend or whatever is popular. But we've spoken about that before, being caught up with the crowd. If you're in the crowd, you have no idea what direction you're going, and you're simply in the middle of a herd of people and opinions going wherever it's going. If you're behind, then you're simply following far behind, not even in the conversation, but still following a crowd. And the best place to be is in front, or outside of the crowd, in other words, all together, but just focus on doing your thing. So, so the embarrassment and the fear, the fear becomes embarrassment, you know what I mean? It's created by the person. But at that point, you would be a person living in fear, and we didn't come here to live in fear. We came to get the message straight and to learn as quick as possible so we could evolve, elevate, and graduate from this school and move on to the next level. So we can't do that if we're always detoured and being ruled and governed by the fear that we're creating ourselves by something that hasn't even happened yet. The fear of the unknown. But if you have a fear of the unknown, you should also know this. Congratulations, you're human, you're normal. This is supposed to happen when you've never done something before, so that you become more alert and you study the facts. So then make sure that you won't be taken too off guard and knocked off your center. So that way you can stay progressing and moving forward, or to make good, informed, cautious decisions. It's better for your survival. It's an evolutionary thing, just like we're talking about now. So, don't be scared to break away. Go into your own zone, as we like to say, go into the cave. That's what the old guys used to say. I like to call them the old guys, but these are people from history. But that's what they used to talk about that a lot. Go into your cave to be away from the crowds, so you don't get caught up in the hysteria and then in turn become the crowd. Always go the direction that allows you to develop as an individual, to become yourself. And in that way, by doing that, there'll be a certain set of understandings that throughout your studies and time that you were perceived to be the truth, like constants and laws, going through trial and error and trying the experiment to get the equation correct. And then once you see that balance, go backwards and forwards, and it's the same result produced over and over. You then know that those are fact that becomes law. So that's what universal law is all about. So that's why I find it so interesting, because so many things, opinions can get swayed. People, we're all led. I was too. You know what I mean? But it's all about coming to that point where nothing much else matters except for getting to the point, of what is our story and what are we for real. And I love finding some of these explanations, examples. All these things are fascinating, because what it tells me is that we're so beautiful. We're such an amazing, powerful being that doesn't understand where it came from and kind of has amnesia, and is trying to catch back up with itself in the whole divine, what you like to call the divine source. So, and never knowing that you're really not disconnected from it, but you can sever the connection if you're not careful. But so that's why we should watch the way that we focus, and always try to stay into the proper focus, channel that, stay in the timeless zone. Stay in the timeless zone. And then eventually, I like this one. Eventually, when a person, okay, wait, let me start over. I like this one though. Okay. It's when a person rests their eyes to lay their head down at night in their current state, will see the affairs that they have to deal with throughout a daily basis. But eventually, as they escape those mortal bonds inside, as their development progresses and they become more educated, that they elevate to a higher brains, like a higher consciousness. And then when they rest their eyes, their focus lies in the universe, resting in the universe. Can you believe that? I love that. And I don't know if you've gotten it, but if you do, there could be some special stuff happening with you right now, just to let you know that your focus has been elevating to a whole different place, and so it means that your consciousness rests in the timeless realm always. Your perspective is tapping into the omnipotent source. In other words, you connected, you know what I'm saying? That you see the planets from the outside, and that you rest in space, part of the cosmos, no longer just part of the flesh body and, the earth around you, but part of the home that it resides in. And I'm going to leave you with that. You know what I'm saying? Let's stay building, stay positive. We the champions. This is hard work. And, I like to, before I go, I got to show you, I'm wearing my Average Joe's t-shirt today. Yes, I believe that we all the same. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you got to break up the seriousness and the monotony. We're going through a lot of stuff right now, you know what I mean? And this was a silly movie, Dodgeball. I don't know if y'all ever saw that movie, but yeah. So I'm wearing my Average Joe shirt today and just having some fun getting with you. And I'll be right back. All right, y'all. Take care. I love you. Peace.